Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani, your research analyst at SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो so that I know you all are with me live in the session. Rakesh ji, namaste to you as well. Chandrasekhar ji, good afternoon. Sachin ji, hello, good afternoon. Asha ji, good afternoon. Great. We'll just wait for few more seconds and then we'll be starting with our session. Shrikant ji, hi, good afternoon. After a long time, I think you were not there for the last for quite some time now. I think 4-5 days or more than a week. Great. So the economic survey has been tabled in the parliament today. So that's the news for now. So our GDP growth is estimated to grow at 6.8 to 7.2%. So roughly there's a projection of 7% GDP growth for FY27. And I think that's the news that I saw before I came in for the session here. But will have to look at more details. Probably in tomorrow's session, I'll cover a little more about the economics survey as well. Rakesh is saying precious metals are defying gravity beyond technicals and fundamentals. Yeah, definitely. That's what it looks like. Yeah, absolutely, Sachin ji. Indeed, a sad day. No problem. So let us start off with the mid-market session. So first up with an update on the global markets first. If you look at the US markets, so S&P 500 gave a flat close. It was down around 0.01%. Dow Jones again had a flat close, 0.02%. Nasdaq also closed 0.17% higher. So I think relatively, if you see all the US indices are trading near the all-time highs. So we had the Federal Reserve interest rate announcement yesterday. So Federal Reserve has kept the interest rates unchanged. So it was probably a non-event for our markets. If you look at Dow futures, again, it is indicating a flat start. So we are, I think Dow futures is down around 0.05% currently. If you look at the European markets, Germany was down 0.29%, London was down 0.52%, France, that is your CAC 40, that saw some good amount of profit booking. That was the worst performing European index, which was down around 1.06%. If you look at Euro Stocks index, that closed 0.29% higher. But if you look at the Asian markets, all the other Asian markets are relatively trading sideways. Our markets are also sideways. Hang Seng is up 0.36%. Nikkei is up 0.03%. China is up 0.04%. Kospi, best performing Asian index again, that is up nearly 24% in the last 1 month. I mean, it's the worst. I mean, it's the best performing global index, by a mile. If you see Kospi is up 24, the next best index has been Hang Seng, which is up 8%. Nifty has relatively underperformed the global markets. We are down around 2.6% in the last 1 month. Though we have seen some recovery from the lows, we had dropped below 25,000. Nifty is at 25,300 now, 0.18%. Sensex is down 0.29%. So again, a flat day for us. Nothing significant happening on an intraday basis today. If you look at the macro indicators, some interesting developments on the macro indicators front. I think a worrying sign for us, a slight worrying sign for us. I'll tell you what that is. If you look at dollar index, so dollar index is on a falling mode. It's gone below the 96 levels now. It's at also major currencies. But on the other hand, if you compare dollar by rupee, so we are almost nearing the 92 mark now. That this is a cause of concern for us because a higher dollar against the rupee usually keeps the FIs away. It helps the exporters, but it kind of hurts the importers here. And one cause of concern is, crude oil was one of the commodities that was relatively that has stayed quiet, where the focus was on gold, silver, copper, zinc, aluminium, natural gas. So crude oil has given a fresh breakout. So you could see oil and gas stocks, in fact your oil upstream companies, जो oil exploration and drilling में involved है, जो oil लेके बेचते हैं, because crude oil prices has gone up, it's almost nearing the $68.5 a barrel mark. And we are aware that we are an oil importing country. We import oil. So oil prices has stayed relatively quiet, but with a fresh breakout in the crude oil prices now, and with the dollar at elevated levels, so that is probably going to hurt our foreign exchange reserves a bit if crude oil prices keep going higher here. So either either RBI needs to intervene and push the dollar prices down, or probably your crude oil prices needs to remain at these levels, because if crude oil jumps to around 70-75 with dollar staying at around 90 to 91 levels, I mean that could put some pressure on our markets as we move forward. If you look at Indian government bonds 10-year yields, we are at around 6.7% mark. So even the bond yields are at the highest levels. If you look at Japanese yields, so even Japan have kept their interest rates steady. So Japanese yields have they are kind of seeing some profit booking at the higher levels. So yield from 2.3% has gone to 2.24%. On the other hand, even the US dollar index, though there is some pullback that we are seeing from the lower level, that is around the 4.2% mark. So I think Powell also hinted that the inflation is kind of in control in the US here. But nevertheless, all the three yields, I think US yields, as long as it stays below the 4.3% mark, are not a worrying sign. If we look at India VIX is at 13.4. So we could see there was a good jump in the India VIX that is usually seen. We saw that yesterday. 1 month before the budget, VIX usually goes up. On the budget day, it kind of cools off. So expect some high volatility tomorrow. But probably from Sunday, when the budget is announced, we could probably see some easing off in the volatility index here. I mean, that is what the historical data says. I mean, this time it can be different, but again, going by what the historical data says, usually we have seen VIX cooling off on the budget day and also 1 week post your budget day here. If you look at silver, again, there is no stopping silver. I think silver hit $120 an ounce mark. I think the only people who are happy in this market are the people who are holding gold and silver. So silver, again, $120 an ounce. There is absolutely no stopping silver currently. And if you look at gold, gold has hit a fresh high. I mean, look at gold. If you remember, there were a lot of mid-market sessions where we have seen gold at around 4,200, 4,300. It's gone to $5,570 an ounce. Almost every day we look at the prices of gold and silver. So it's gone to $5,570 an ounce. So both gold and silver are on a dream run. कभी ना कभी तो ये रुकेगा, कब रुकेगा? I think nobody knows, as to when there is going to be a halt in the rally here. But for now, I think gold and silver looks like both are going to, continue its upward journey. If you look at the FII positioning, so yesterday's FIIs were net buyers in the cash market. So they bought around 480 crores yesterday. But I think the buying figure is very insignificant compared to the selling that we saw in the last 14 sessions, wherein they sold around 40,800 crores. So compared to that 480 crores of buying figure is very insignificant. So I mean, ना की बरोबरी है. I mean, कुछ buying नहीं हुआ अगर हम FIIs की तरफ से देखें. Long short ratio, there has been some improvement post the start of February series. If you look at the long short ratio from 7.53, at least we have improved to 12.62%. But again, no significant short covering by the FIs in index futures as well. So no change in the sentiment, as far as the FIs are concerned. And होगा भी नहीं, because जब तक डॉलर 92 में है, जब तक इंडिया यूएस का ट्रेड डील एक बैलेंस में हैंग कर रहा है, तब तक I think FIIs are probably going to adopt a wait and watch approach in our markets. Now, if you talk about Nifty, so Nifty ki baat kare, so we can see there is some buying interest that has emerged at the lower levels here. So we have bounced off from the 200-day EMA, which is kind of placed in that 25,165 region. But I think I would like to point out what's happening in the last 6-7 sessions. If you see this in particular, there is some heavy indecision that is going around a key long-term moving average support, that is your 200-day EMA. यहाँ पे हम नीचे आए, ऊपर गए, फिर नीचे आए, ऊपर आए, फिर हम नीचे गए, हम ऊपर आए. So you can clearly see that there is a strong indecision. I mean, even the bulls and bears are confused at the current levels here. So probably both bulls and bears, बुल्स भी इतना कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं है ऊपर जाने के लिए, ना बेयर्स इतना कॉन्फिडेंट है कि मार्केट को नीचे खींच ले जाए करंट लेवल से. So this 200-day, this 25, 150, 25, 200, that is acting as, a strong congestion area for now. So जब तक हम ये जोन से बाहर नहीं निकलेंगे, तब तक वो इंडिसिशन हमें दिख रहा है मार्केट्स में. There is a clear indecision going around in the markets. So for now, I feel on the downside, the maximum downside अगर मैं बोलूँ तो नीचे 24,900 तक हो सकता है, because there's a major support level for Nifty. On the upside, I feel as long as we are below the 25,500 mark, we could expect some choppiness and sideways movement in the index. Now, if you look at the 5 minutes chart for Nifty, अगर मैं purely intraday levels की बात करूँ आज के दिन में, I feel a strong support for Nifty on an intraday is around 25,175. As long as we are about 25,175, it can be sideways to bullish. On the upside, I feel this is a strong resistance area, 25,360. जब तक हम ये रेंज के बाहर नहीं आते, सो नीचे 25,170 and ऊपर की तरफ 25,350. Only when we break about 25,350 on the upside, we could expect some bullish momentum to continue. Because यहाँ पे निफ्टी ने 2 बार 25,360 के आसपास रेजिस्टेंस लिया है. So I feel only when this level gets taken out, chances are that we could expect the price to move higher. But till the time we are below this, we can be in this zone. But I think if we break below 25,170 on the downside, then probably we can expect at least Nifty to move towards again 25,000 levels in the short term. Now talking about Sensex, if you look at the daily chart for Sensex, again Sensex may be pretty similar story है यहाँ पे. तो अगर हम Sensex देखें तो even Sensex has been showing strong indecision around its 200-day EMA. It kind of went down, but it's still trading below its 200-day EMA here. I mean, no clear directional momentum either on the upside or on the downside. So again, for Sensex to, move above, I think it needs to break above 82,490, 82,500. That's a key resistance level to watch out in Sensex. If you look at the 5 minutes chart, again, from an intraday perspective, today is Thursday. And Thursday Sensex का weekly expiry भी होता है. So today, I think we can expect some volatility in the second half. But if you look at Sensex, I think for intraday level for Sensex would be around 81,700, 81,720. That's a strong support level to look at. But probably if, let's say, let me take a new line. So this is a major resistance for Sensex. So if Sensex is able to move past the 80,400 mark, on an intraday basis, probably, we can expect some expiry related volatility somewhere around 1:30, 2 o'clock. That is when you would see expiry के दिन usually 1:32 के आसपास एक momentum आता है. So I feel around 80,400, that's a key level to watch. I think अगर हम 80,400 के अगर हम ऊपर जाते हैं, then chances are that we could expect some pullback in the second half. But on the downside, I think 81,700, that's a strong support level to watch out for Sensex. If you look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty has been the strongest performing index. So Bank Nifty, we saw a couple of days back, it took support from its 200-day EMA. The 200-day EMA was in the range of 58,100, 58,130. And, we saw some pullback coming in, in Bank Nifty. And there was, I think it is also above the trend line here, ये जो upward sloping trend line है, by correcting the lows on 7th of November and the low on 30th of December, it is trying to reclaim this trend line again. And also we could see some improvement in the indicators as well. अगर हम MACD देखें, that is above the zero line, and almost it is on the verge of crossing over your signal line as well. RSI from almost 40 has improved to 54, 55 levels. So I mean, there's a good improvement in on the indicators front, and I think if Bank Nifty continues, ideally, it can, go towards its previous high of 6450, 6500. That's the level that we can expect on the upside. Now, purely from an intraday perspective, I feel the immediate support would be around 59,600, because this level, which acted as a resistance, has now acted as a strong support for Bank Nifty. So 59,600 on the downside, that is where the intraday support for Bank Nifty is placed. And as long as Bank Nifty is able to hold above 59,600, chances are that Bank Nifty can, extend its up move on an intraday basis. Now talking about now talking about the key heat map, हम लोग देख लेते हैं कि Nifty 50 पैक में कौन से ऐसे stocks hai. I think there is some lag in this website here. Nevertheless, we'll come back to this part again. So we look at the sectoral performance. So last 5 days, which are the sectors that are in focus? So clearly, if you see, metal continues to be showing strong outperformance. Metals is up nearly 7% in the last 5 days. Almost, if you look at stocks like Jindal Steel, Tata Steel, APL Apollo, Hindustan Copper, all these stocks are showing strong momentum, and metal also continues to stay in the leading quadrant. अगर हम RRG की बात करें, so आप देखो कि metal बीच में थोड़ा weakening quadrant में आ गया था, but metal from weakening quadrant has again moved to the leading quadrant here. So clearly there is strength and momentum, in the metal space. If you look at the other sector, जो कि कल से focus में, there are couple of sectors that are showing some strong signs. And usually these are the sectors that remains in focus ahead of the budget. So one is your CPSE space, and also the defense. So defense by Nifty ratio chart has given a fresh breakout. We look at the ratio chart in some time from now. So a lot of defense stocks have started moving, like stocks like Midani, BL, all these stocks have started showing strong traction. Even the stocks in the CPSE space, like your Oil India, PFC, all these stocks are showing strong momentum. So CPSE is up around almost 6%, defense is up 5%, metal is up around 7%. Oil and gas stocks, if you see, again, crude oil prices have gone up. So all your oil upstream companies, we looked at Oil India recently. So Oil India is, probably showing some strong trends here. So oil and gas is also up around 2%. We even saw capital market stocks. We saw MCX gave a fresh breakout recently. BSE gave a fresh breakout. So all these, couple of capital market stocks are also doing well. But again, the sectors that continues to lag behind, or the sectors that are showing weak strength, that is realty. So realty is down around 3%. और हम RRG में भी ये देखा कि रियल्टी काफी टाइम से एक लैगिंग क्वाड्रेंट में. सो लैगिंग क्वाड्रेंट मींस देयर इज नो रिलेटिव स्ट्रेंथ. सेकेंडली, देयर इज नो मोमेंटम in this space as well. So realty continues to be down. Even auto, there is some profit booking that we are seeing in the auto space. That has come after the import duties that were slashed from almost, I think, 100% to 10%, if I'm not wrong, post the India-EU deal. And there were also some unconfirmed reports that even South Africa is planning to put tariffs on all the cars that gets imported from India and China. So I think that has kind of, weighed on the auto sector sentiment. So I think that is the reason why, if you see, Maruti Suzuki had some fall in the last days. Even Mahindra has been, trading around its 200-day EMA. So there is definitely some weakness in the auto space currently. Even tourism stocks, for that matter, हमने देखा कि all your hospitality stocks, for example, Indian Hotels, Chalet Hotels, Lemon Tree Hotels, EIH, IRCTC, Indigo, all the stocks that are related to tourism, these are the stocks that are also struggling here. So clearly metal, CPSE and defense, that is where the momentum is in. But if you look at tourism, auto and realty, so avoid these sectors for now, because clearly there is underperformance in this space. Now, talking about the RRG, so clearly metal is pointing upwards. So metal, again, I think it can continue to do well. followed by CPSE. अगर आप CPSE देखोगे, it kind of went to the weakening quadrant and again it has moved to the leading quadrant. Now the head is pointing upwards. So again, there is good traction in the CPSE space. If you look at commodities is going up, even PSE is going up. PSE जो कि weakening quadrant में था, उसका भी अगर आप tail देखोगे, that is moving towards the leading quadrant here. Whereas if you look at IT, there is some pockets of IT is doing well. So IT, the tail is the head is pointing down. Bank is slightly down. Private banks is flat. Financial services is flat. So purely basis on the RRG, which is your relative rotational graph, metal can do well, CPSE can do well, and PSE. So PSE, CPSE, and metal, these are the three sectors that you can focus in. Manufacturing is in the weakening quadrant, so avoid manufacturing for now. There is some improvement in the oil and gas space, so you can probably focus on oil upstream companies because higher crude oil prices benefits oil upstream companies like your Oil India, IOC, all your oil upstream companies जो भी है, I think that can benefit from this. FMCG improve हो रहा था, but again it has gave up some momentum here. BPCL, I think it's a downstream company if I'm not wrong. But अगर हम oil and gas देखें, so oil and gas is also one sector that you can focus in. But if you look at sectors to avoid consumer durables, it's down. Realty avoid करना, auto भी avoid करना because it's in the lagging quadrant now. Avoid mid caps and small caps, both are in the lagging quadrant. Avoid pharma and healthcare, even these two sectors are in the lagging quadrant here. So purely your focus has to be on four sectors per se. One will be metal, CPSE, PSC. That also includes your defense stocks and your oil and gas, because these are the sectors where your strong momentum is present. Whereas avoid manufacturing, auto, pharma, healthcare, realty, tourism, even small cap and mid cap have been lagging behind currently here. So that was about RRG. Now talking about the stocks to watch out, which are the stocks that are showing strong relative momentum. So हमने अभी sectors देख लिए, अभी हम sectors के बाद stocks में deep dive करेंगे. So अगर हम stocks की बात करें, so first अगर हम metal की ratio chart देखें, if we compare the metal index with the Nifty index, so clearly we can see that the ratio line is kind of moving up, which clearly indicates strong outperformance by the metal counters. I think we have discussed almost all the names now. A lot of metal counters are doing well, but one counter that has given a fresh breakout today is Jindal Steel. अगर हम Jindal Steel की बात करें, so it took resistance around the 1096 mark. It gave a breakout yesterday. The RSI has gone above 60. The DI plus is about DI minus. So, there is clearly control by the bulls over the bears, and MACD line is also pointing upwards. So, Jindal Steel is one stock from the metal space, that can continue its outperformance. But on the downside, the support is around 1,100, 1,110, 1,120. That is where the support is placed for Jindal Steel. Apart from that, like I said, even CPSE space we saw in the RRG, CPSE is also in the leading quadrant. So CPSE again showed strong traction yesterday, but one stock from the CPSE space that can do well is NTPC. NTPC, it recovered strongly from the lows and then it kind of went into a range, and it gave a breakout, though it gave up some gains from the highs. But as long as it holds about 355, I feel overall it can continue its outperformance. RSI has again gone above 60 and MACD has crossed over the signal line here. So it's very important for NTPC to hold about 350, 355. I think as long as NTPC is able to do that, we can expect NTPC to move up higher. Apart from that, like CPSE, even your PSE index is doing well. So PSE again, it gave a fresh breakout. The ratio chart saw a fresh breakout yesterday. So PFC is one stock that can do well. Pretty similar chart structure as compared to NTPC. एक लोअर लेवल से एक स्ट्रॉन्ग रिबाउंड आया, देन एक साइडवेज फेस में आ गए थे. कल एक ब्रेकआउट मिला था, आज भले इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग फॉलो थ्रू नहीं है, बट इट्स स्टिल ट्रेडिंग अबाउट द रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ 380. So for PFC, it's very important that the stock holds above 380, and as long as it holds above 380, chances are that even this stock can do well. Apart from that, financial services, again, this is also one sector that is outperforming the Nifty index. So we can clearly see post the breakout, the financial services stocks have been on the rise. And one stock that still looks attractive, from the financial services space is Shriram Finance. But Shriram Finance, it's near its resistance point now. I think 1025, 1030. That is where the resistance is placed. Any strong breakout above 1030, that is likely to push the prices even higher in the coming days. So keep an eye on Shriram Finance from the financial services space. And lastly, one other sector that gave a strong breakout, I think usually these are the sectors like CPSE, PSE, defense. These are usually the sectors that continues to remain in focus ahead of the budget. But defense by Nifty का ratio chart ने एक fresh breakout दिया था कल. But couple of stocks from the defense space. One is Midani. If you look at Midani has given a fresh breakout. I think post the bounce from the lows, it kind of went into a consolidation phase, and again it is moving out of the range here. So Midani is one stock from the defense space that looks poised for an up move, but I think its immediate support will be around 360, 365. As long as Midani is able to hold about 365, chances are that it can move higher. And the last stock that I want to discuss is BL. Though BL gave a strong breakout yesterday, though there is some profit booking that we are seeing in BL today, but as long as it holds above this resistance of 430, the overall trend again is likely to be positive for BL here. So clearly your metal, CPSE, PSE, defense, apart from oil and gas, only oil upstream companies in particular, these are the sectors where your strength and momentum is present. Now, talking about the last segment of the day, concept for the day. So what concept do we learn today? Okay, so let's learn about, I'll teach you about a candlestick pattern. So there are two types of, so हमने आपको याद है कुछ दिन पहले हमने डोजी पैटर्न्स के बारे में हमने पढ़ा था, स्टैंडर्ड डोजी, लॉन्ग लेग डोजी, ग्रेवस्टोन डोजी एंड ड्रैगनफ्लाई डोजी. So there are a couple of more candlestick patterns that we will learn. The two patterns that we are learning today, so one is called as your hammer pattern and the other one is called as your shooting star pattern. So these are candlestick patterns. Now, hammer pattern is always seen after a downtrend. Always remember this. This is to be seen after a downtrend. And shooting star pattern is exactly the opposite. It is always seen after an uptrend. इसको हम लोग sideways के बाद नहीं देखते. Shooting star is always seen after an uptrend. Hammer is always seen after a downtrend. Hammer कैसे दिखता है ना? Hammer का एक सा, you have seen a hammer, right? You take a nail and you hammer it. वो hammer जैसे दिखेगा. So how does hammer look like? It will have a square-like body, and it will have a relatively long lower wick. And the color, ideally, the color of this hammer would be a green, and this is usually formed after a downtrend. It can have no wicks, upper wicks, or it can have a slight upper wick as well. Now, what does hammer indicate? Hammer मतलब अगर open हुआ है यहाँ पे, close हुआ है यहाँ पे, इसका मतलब open होके ही price नीचे गया. The sellers were active. Then the buyers came in at the lower levels and they pushed the price higher, which led to price closing above the open price here. So sentiment यहाँ पे क्या था? Already sentiment downtrend में तो sentiment weak था. Sellers ने यहाँ पे price को और push किया, but buyers ने एक level पे आके price को ऊपर push किया है. And now the buyers are trying to overpower the sellers. And next day, if the price breaks this high and if it closes above, if the buyers are able to carry on the momentum to the next day, then we expect that the price can probably, the downtrend can reverse and probably this could be start of a pullback. आप बोल सकते हो, या तो यहाँ से एक uptrend शुरू हो सकता है. Similarly, shooting star is exactly the opposite. So already the trend is very strong. So what happens in a shooting star is there is a square-like body, but here the wick is on the upper side. And it can have a small lower wick or a no lower wick at all. And the color of the candle is ideally red. इसका मतलब क्या है कि the price is already in an uptrend, the trend is strong. The buyers kind of tried to push the prices even higher. The buyers were present, but I think sellers came in at the higher levels here and they tried to push the price down. So now the sellers are trying to overpower the buyers. Here it's the buyers that are overpowering the sellers. And let's say if the sellers are able to break this low and move even lower, if the sellers are able to maintain the momentum, then we expect that the price can probably reverse and go down, and uptrend can now change into a downtrend here. So yeah, in this it matters because ideally the color of the candle should be green here if you're looking at a hammer, because that also indicates that there are more buyers than the sellers. In a shooting star pattern, ideally, the color of the candle should be red. But I think it's the size of the wicks that matter. At least ये जो wick का size है, it should be at least 2 or 3 times the size of the body. अगर मतलब body का size अगर 3 है, तो this the length of the wick should be 9. ये अगर size of the body 2 है, तो length of the wick should be 4. So the size of the wick should be at least 2 times or 2.5 times the size of the body here. Hammer is seen after a downtrend. Shooting star is seen after an uptrend here. These are basically your reversal candlestick patterns. Just to, so if you get a hammer at a very important support, then chances are that prices can move up higher. Or if you get a shooting star at a very important resistance, chances are that we can expect a price to fall down from there. So that was your concept topic for the day. And that's about mid-market session for the day, guys. I hope it was informative. And now let us start off with our question and answer session. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box and I'll be happy to answer them. PFC नितिन जी आप hold कर सकते हो. Like I said, PFC is good. Even NMDC भी अच्छा है काफी. So NMDC around आप थोड़ा trail कर सकते हो. Maybe around 80-81 में you can trail your SL to NMDC or नितिन जी Titan. Let me look at Titan. नहीं टाइटन फिलहाल के लिए अवॉइड करना. हाँ, बिकॉज टाइटन में थोड़ा सा करेक्शन है, मतलब इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं लग रहा है टाइटन एट द करंट लेवल्स. लेट्स वेट फॉर सम मोर क्लियर रिवर्सल साइंस इन टाइटन हियर. फॉर नाउ यू कैन अवॉइड टाइटन. टेक महिंद्रा यू कैन कंटिन्यू. आई थिंक आप ट्रेल कर सकते हो सुमित जी. आई थिंक 1730 1735 में आप इसका आपका स्टॉप लॉस ट्रेल कर सकते हो. 1790. हाँ, you can hold, you can trail your stop loss सुबह जी, trail your SL to around 1730. So at least यहाँ से अगर गिरता भी है तो at least you will come out with profits here. आप ट्रेल कर सकते हो SL, so your new SL will be around 1730. Budget, Harish ji, I think our fundamental team again, they will be doing a webinar on the budget day. So probably Sunday evening, we'll be having it's a working Sunday. So I think we will be having an extensive report that will come out, and also there'll be an extensive webinar. But we'll have to wait for the news. But for now, I think CPSE, defense, these are the sectors that are in focus. So we'll have to wait until the budget, and probably our fundamental team will have a detailed webinar regarding all the sectors and what impact it could have on some stocks as well. I would say, see, I think it's very difficult to say. Actually, मुझे आके शर्मिंदा होता है यहाँ पे जब आप पूछते हो गोल्ड और सिल्वर को क्या करना चाहिए, बिकॉज मैं आपको बोलता हूँ ये लेवल में एंटर मत करना, बिकॉज गोल्ड सिल्वर ऑलरेडी इतना ऊपर बढ़ गया है. बट हम हर दिन आके देखते हैं यार गोल्ड सिल्वर ऊपर ही जाते रहता है. तो आप सोचोगे सर आप तो बोल रहे हो होल्ड, मतलब एंटर मत करो, और रोज गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर प्राइसेस ऊपर जाता है. बिकॉज see, the risk to reward is not very favorable for gold and silver now, especially if you are looking at it from a short term perspective. It's definitely not favorable. If you're already holding, then keep riding the trend. I mean, that is what I would say. Ye to maybe expect, I think not me, I think even you for that matter, you wouldn't have expected gold and silver to run up like this. But I wouldn't want to enter at these levels here. I think it's very, very dicey. Because I don't know when it will fall. If it falls, then probably the fall will also be sharper than the rise here. I think Shashikant ji, aa raha hu main GMR Airport. I'll come to that. Shashikant ji, don't spam my chat. I'll go to GMR Airports. If I look at GMR Airports here, if I look at GMR Airports, no, clearly the trend structure is weak. So avoid a fresh entry in GMR Airport. शशिकांत जी, आई थिंक ये अभी 200 DA में के आसपास है. आई थिंक इसका एक इम्पोर्टेंट सपोर्ट आप बोल सकते हो 88-89 के आसपास. But if it goes below 89-88, then it's, I think, better to exit GMR Airports. But if it holds above 200 DA, then well and good. Jane Resource Recycling. Yeah, it's good. In fact, it has held on to its trend line here. So ideally around 380, 385 is where you can have support for Jane Resource Recycling. Jammu Kashmir Bank. जम्मू कश्मीर बैंक एक मिनट लेट मी ओपन अप द चार्ट फिलहाल के लिए साइडवेज है अंशु जी आई थिंक अवॉइड करना आई थिंक इसका एक इंपॉर्टेंट रेजिस्टेंस है इस लेवल पे अगर आप देखोगे सो वेट अंटिल वी गेट अ ब्रेकआउट अबव 110 सो आई थिंक वंस वी गेट अ ब्रेकआउट अबव 110 चांसेस आर दैट ऊपर जा सकता है बट टिल द टाइम इट्स बिलो 110 अवॉइड इट ऑन द डाउन साइड सपोर्ट इज अराउंड 97.5 98 BL 445 का कॉल ऑप्शन BL इज गुड आज थोड़ा करेक्शन आया है उसमें लेट मी ओपन अप 445 क्या प्राइस पे लिया है आपने अमित जी आई थिंक you can have around 14.3 as an SL for this अगर 14.3 के नीचे जाता है then it's better to exit BL because कल momentum में था but ये इसका एक strong support it needs to hold above 14.5 if not I think it can fall back. Tata Power, my view on power sector. Uh, Tata Power, I think it's good. Sorry, 5 minutes. Let me look at the daily chart. I think my net has gone slow. That is why it is taking time to load. Yes Bank, I can't give a view on Yes Bank. Just kidding. I don't know. But I'm not really kidding. I really can't give a view on Yes Bank because I'm bounded by compliance. But I think Tata Power, though there is some pullback, but still too early to call it as a trend reversal. Maybe around 345, 350 is where you can, if you're already holding, then consider around 350 as a strong support for Tata Power. क्या बजट के बाद प्रॉफिट देगा यूको बैंक वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू से अभी फिलहाल सी साइडवेज ही है आई थिंक इट्स इसका आप अराउंड 27.5 के आसपास आप इसको होल्ड करके रख सकते हो आई थिंक बिलो 27.5 इट्स बेटर टू एग्जिट देयर इज नो मोमेंटम विद दिस काउंटर पेट्रोनेट आई थिंक वेट फॉर अटिल 299 300 अगर 299 300 के ऊपर अगर ब्रेकआउट मिलता है देन इट कैन बी प्रॉब्ली इट कैन मूव अप हायर आई थिंक शशिकांत जी आज मुझे उनके क्वेरीज को पूछ के ही रहेंगे JSPL शशिकांत जी मेरे को बाकी लोग का भी क्वेरी आंसर करना होता है ना इसके लिए मैं आई ट्राई टू आंसर एवरीवन्स क्वेरी अगर आप ही मुझे पूछोगे तो बाकी लोग मेरे से नाराज हो जाएंगे फिर JSPL कौन सा स्टॉक है JSPL जिंदाल स्टील एंड पावर राइट सो इज दिस द स्टॉक इसका मुझे ये क्यों नहीं दिख रहा है व्हाई एम आई नॉट एबल टू जिंदाल स्टील is this the stock you're talking about Shashika ji JS Jindal Steel yeah you can continue to it's a good stock like I said हमने डिस्कस किया था यहाँ पे I think 1125 1130 का आप SL ट्रेल कर सकते हो and you can continue to hold your Tata Steel also you can hold all the metal stocks आप hold करना जिनके पास भी metal है you can continue to hold metal is also higher I think you can kind of trail your SL to somewhere around 190 193 ABB लोअर लेवल से पुल बैक दिया है आई थिंक एक डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकआउट भी मिला है it's a good breakout today good surge in volumes as well RSI has also gone above 60 थोड़ा सा वेट कर दे लेट्स वेट अंटिल द एंड ऑफ द डे पारुल जी अगर ये आज का जो हाई है उसको पार करता है मे बी मुझे लगता है शायद थोड़ा करेक्शन आ सकता है कंसिडरिंग द फैक्ट दैट इट्स ऑलरेडी अप 9% वेट फॉर सम करेक्शन थोड़ा साइडवेज या करेक्शन आ सकता है अगर फिर से ये हाई के ऊपर जाता है देन प्रॉब्ली इट कैन बी अ गुड एंट्री पॉइंट बट नॉट वर्थ एंट्रिंग नाउ सिंस इट्स ऑलरेडी 10% हायर यू कैन होल्ड पार्थिसारथी ऑल द फ्रेश एंट्री अवॉइड करना मेटल स्पेस में बिकॉज see it's already run up a lot and you know entering at the current levels in metal will be little risky, I feel, because already it has run up a lot. I don't know और कितना ऊपर जा सकता है. So better to avoid. I think if you are holding, then I think you can trade your SL, but avoid fresh entry because ये सारे stocks ऊपर चल गए यहाँ पे. Because if जिस दिन गिरेगा ना, a one shot the fall will be very sharp, and then we'd be regretting entering at these high levels here. So that's my only cause of concern. सेंसेक्स आई थिंक मुझे लगता है अगर ये अभी देखो 80 to 400 आ गया है, आई फील इट्स एट अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. आई थिंक अगर सेंसेक्स से 80 to 400, 80 to 450 के ऊपर सस्टेन करता है अगला 5-10 मिनट, then I feel we can expect a pullback on the higher side. Then I think 80 to 500, 80 to 600 के आसपास जा सकता है. काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस के आसपास है वो. And I think you can trail your SL for Sensex. I think you can probably do it somewhere around 82,000, 82,200 तक आप ट्रेल कर सकते हो इंट्राडे में. I think let's see if it's able to hold on to 80 to 400, 80 to 450 for the next 5-10 minutes, because it's at a very important resistance point. Because पिछले 2 बार यही से हम गिरे, तो अगर यहाँ से अगर ये होल्ड करता है, देन आ सकता है एक फ्रेश पुलबैक हमें देखने को मिल सकता है सेंसेक्स में. अभी बीडीएल सी डिफेंस स्टॉक्स है फोकस में, बट एक कन्विंसिंग कैंडल नहीं दिख रहा. आई थिंक वेट फॉर अ स्ट्रॉन्ग क्लोजिंग अबाउ 1575, 1585. सी काफी टाइम से अगर आप देखोगे ना, बीडीएल एक रेंज में है. सो है ना, ये रेंज के बाहर आना चाहिए स्टॉक को, तब जाके कुछ मोमेंटम आ सकता है. बट जब तक अगर ये बीडीएल रेंज में, आई थिंक इट्स बेटर टू होल्ड ऑन. बट आई थिंक मिदानी अगर आप particularly अगर आप डिफेंस स्टॉक्स देख रहे हो, आई थिंक यू कैन लुक एट मिदानी, बीएल. दीज आर सम स्ट्रॉन्ग काउंटर्स. योर एंजल वन, Angel, see, it gave a good breakout, but then it kind of failed to sustain. But I think if it goes above this high again, that's this previous high, about 2775, then it can move up higher. But for now, I think 2500, that level is likely to act as a strong support. Metal ETF, so I think I would avoid metal, Harish, because I'm afraid, really, to be very honest, मैं खुद डर लग रहा है मुझे metal में, because जो हिसाब से metal ETF गया है, even I think there are no metal Bs here, na? It's already at the highs here. We can't get metal ETF. I think avoid that, I would say, Harishji, because it's already at the very high levels. It's probably in its last leg of rally is what I feel. Maybe one bad fall, then our entry point, not the ideal entry point, is what I know. I keep saying this and the metal prices keep moving higher and higher, but थोड़ा सा मुझे एक prudent approach भी लेना पड़ेगा, because you never know when that profit booking can come, especially when it's already at the highs here. So that is my only cause of concern. But apart from that, I think there are no issues. I think already if you're already holding it, that you can keep riding the trend. That is what I would say. You can keep trailing your stop loss and move to the higher levels here. And that is why I'm not suggesting a fresh entry in Hindalco, Vedanta, and Hindustan Copper, just because it has run up a lot. Maybe you can focus on sectors that has kind of underperformed, almost on the verge of breakout, and can move up higher. Because I think we are too late now. I think we have missed the bus. I think it's better to look at the next train now. I think that metal train is far gone by. अब उसका कुछ कर नहीं सकते. It's almost reaching the destination now, but we are still at the source at the current levels. सी आपके पास ऑलरेडी है सिल्वर ETF, तो आप आपका SL को ट्रेल करके आप होल्ड कर रहा, जब तक वो ट्रेंड में जान है तब तक आप वो ट्रेंड को राइड करना. बट फ्रेश एंट्री के लिए आप मत जाना फिलहाल के लिए. मेटल I ETF, okay. This one you are saying. See, though it's in a strong uptrend, but strict stop loss be, if you really want to take a chance with a strict stop loss, then maybe let's say 11.5, 11.7 is where you can keep your SL, and maybe you can small quantities like staggered approach लेके चल सकते हैं इसमें. Clear, guys? So that's all from today's wet market session. One important announcement: there is also a webinar happening today at 4 o'clock. So we'll be discussing about a stochastic indicator. I'll be doing the session at 4 o'clock, guys. and that will be happening on SBI Securities YouTube channel. It will be fun. We'll be learning everything about stochastics, how traders use stochastic indicator. We have learned about RSI, ADX, moving averages, uh, MACD. Today we'll be learning about stochastic indicator in detail. So look forward to your presence, guys. It will happen at 4 o'clock, and I'll see you. Looking forward to see you there. Okay, bye guys. Take care and stay safe. And I'll see you in a couple of hours at 4 o'clock from now. Bye guys and take care.